Hello everyone. Before I start, I would like to express my deep gratitude to the Ben-Zvi Institute, its team, and especially to Dr. Nita Schramm for a kind invitation. It is a true honor and a deeply moving experience for me to speak here today in this historical place as a child of the diaspora born and raised in France. This work about Djerba community is not only a visual document, it is also, I hope, a contribution for the living archive we are exploring together today. My name is David Benaïnous, or Benaïnous. I am a photographer, not an historian. I come from a Cohen family, originally from Djerba, on my mother's side. When I decided to go there in March 2002, it was first and foremost a personal journey, not an assignment. An attempt to connect with my own unknown history. I returned several times over the following 2 years because I did not want to document only events. What you will see today is not the story of a community that bounced back. It is a story of a community that never stopped living quietly with a deep sense of where they come from and who they are. This series was my way of turning my eyes and my camera toward that living heritage. I give you some time to watch the picture sometimes. As you probably already know, Djerba is one of the oldest continuous Jewish community in the world. At its heart stands the Ghriba synagogue, a major pilgrimage site and a powerful symbol of faith and continuity, since it is still probably the oldest synagogue still in activity. In April 2002, the sanctuary was brutally attacked, and Jacob, the old cantor, came for the first time after the attack, the day of the reopening, to pray. He probably sing for at least 70 years of the pilgrimage, and this is the first time attack like this ever occur in this dimension. 21 people were killed. So I try to document both of the wound and the remarkable capacity of this community to continue living and transmitting its heritage. I spend time with families in synagogues, ceremonies, and school, etc., to capture the quiet essence of their daily life and faith. I choose full immersion. Black and white was a deliberate choice to remove distraction and focus on emotion and the timeless quality of this heritage. Among the pictures I took, one has become particularly emblematic to me. It is a burn book of a Tehillim. On the scorched pages, Psalm 13 remained strikingly legible. The synagogue attendant bring it to me silently, without a word, as a treasure, so I can capture it. It opens with a cry anguish, "How long, O Lord, will you forget me? Forever?" Yet it concludes with an act of profound trust. "But I have trust in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation." Now, this man is the owner of the book few weeks after taking back its seat with trust and probably a new book on its knees. The single image embodies the resilience I witnessed in Djerba, a community attacked, yet continuing to come to the Ghriba to pray as nothing happened. After reflection, I prefer the word persistence. Persistence is particularly adapted to a group where language is the land, as in the Jewish identity. The resilience implies more a rupture following by recovery as an individual. But if you took it as in a perspective of a collective or a people, it's more persistence of being. Education has always been the cornerstone of Jewish identity. Anywhere in the world, Djerba doesn't make an exception. Here children attend Tunisian school in the morning and Talmudic studies in the afternoon in a traditional model of oral education called Pilpul, practiced from generation and known all over the world. Some schools, like this one, is sponsored by foreign NGO like American Joint for decades and decades, or for the French AUGF. So you will notice the hand of the grandmother standing on the back. They don't know me. I know the father of this little girl, and they see me coming in the kitchen, and she doesn't know who is this man coming with a camera. So she put her hand in front to protect his daughter. I really enjoy this picture because when you have anti-Semitism all over the world, still it's very hard to imagine that you can find kids like this in France, in the city of Paris, walking and smiling like that. Yet you can find this in a Muslim country. Another school sponsored by the American Joint. I was struck by the material heritage of the village and of the people and the sacred space. And when I think about it, the life in the island is surrounded by living memory everywhere. For example, they keep the Geniza, the sacred repository of one book, and I can tell if it is still the case, but when I went there, elders, people told me that the American Joint in the 80s want to take care of this Geniza, but some rabbi, they just opposed, and they said, you don't touch this book. So 20 or 30 years after that, the book will still remain in the same place. For how long, I don't know. And since when, I don't know. So memory has a mystery, and it's better like that when it's still in movement and it's still living. I was also struck to find some German old book from the 19th century left over in a synagogue on a shelf, because the first printing in the island was, even if it was a Jewish one, was established only in 1910. Before that, there was no book. So they used to go and to cross all Europe, and especially Italy, to get their books. But you can find some German book with some figures that are not very, this is not very Sephardic. This is a woman. Yeah. The kosher wine fermenting in a dark room at one of my hosts' home can be considered as well as a living archive. Until recently, no one was allowed to bring the kosher wine from abroad, the island. They're all making they produce their own kosher wine. Well, you can make it for the kiddush, but you don't drink 2 glasses. 1 is enough. But it's kosher. There is still 10th synagogue that is in activity with ageless scroll of Torah. And also the decorations sometimes are very, very old. So I call this series Traces of Exile, where faith mingles with daily life. This photograph invites us to see Jewish culture treasures not as static relics of the past, but as a vibrant, living expression of memory, faith, and persistence. I capture some, as I told you, a lot of day life, a lot of faith action, like this man is coming from abroad to receive the bracha of this old rabbi called Rabbi Sion Dry. The chance I had is I have with me a picture of my parent getting married in the big synagogue of Tunisia by Rabbi Meisha Cohen, which was the cousin. I mean, he was a cousin of in my family. So he accepted to marry them. And I have the picture with me. And the first picture I showed you was the monument for him, where there is lighting every day a candle for Rabbi Meisha Cohen, which was the first great rabbi of Tunisia on the modern time. So they're all being very, very trustful with me. So I get very lucky. It's another thing I noticed, it's very specific. This is Tisha B'Av celebration. And as maybe you can see here, he had this black thing on his pants. It's a remembrance of the destruction of the first temple, sorry. And this is the only thing who can make a difference between the way he's dressed and the way you can find some Muslim people dress. So I call this picture the man of books. There is books everywhere. He used to spend his whole day after the morning prayer studying and taking his notes. So I don't want to make it too long, so I took some pictures. Sometimes I was intriguing. I spent time with him. We didn't talk so much because he doesn't speak French. I don't speak Arabic, and I don't speak Hebrew, obviously. And I found his notes. So it was like little notes, lines on lines on lines. It seems to me that he was Hebrew. So I asked him, would you mind if I take a picture of your notebook? He let me do it. And then I tried to understand, or try to understand what it is, or talk to people and ask them. Nobody understand what it was, because it was not Hebrew. It was Arab. It was like a kind of using the letter, but it was Arabic. Yeah, coexistence with the surrounding Muslim society is not theoretical, it is lived every day. This exchange has a main space, which is the souk. Most of the Jewish are still merchant or jewelers. Sometimes to give a name of a picture for an exhibition is a little bit hard. I call this picture tzedakah. And to make a long story short, I didn't explain why so much when I'm doing my exhibition. But this woman is a disabled Jewish woman from the village. So there is no way she can have money to make a living. And there is not social security. So even there, Judaism took his part, and she's bringing every Shabbat the bread on the collective oven, bring it back to all the families, get money from every one of them, and she had money for a living for a week. So of course the pilgrimage, this is the annual pilgrim to Ghriba, is a central event for the Jewish community of Djerba, but not only, it also goes to all over the world, people are coming. It is a powerful testament to the community and broken faith and resilience. This event, one of the most significant in North Africa, Judaism, transformed the island into a vibrant hub of prayer song community, drawing pilgrims from across the globe to its ancient hallowed grounds. So what you're seeing is the former caravanserai, which is not used anymore, and people coming from Libya, from all Africa, with their animals, and they're used to stay there, live for a few days, sleep, rest, participate, rest again, and then they can go back to Libya. You have a lot of people from Djerba, where their name is Trabelsi. Trabelsi means the city of Tripoli in Libya. So there is a big connection in all this region, and it spread more than only Djerba, also because the Roman created a road, like a kind of bridge, like a Roman road, who allow people to cross at certain time the sea to come and to go from different directions. This celebration still occurred when there were the bomb attack. That was the year of the bomb attack. And this is Mrs. Cohen with her traditional Jewish shawl. And I have a funny anecdote about that. When I saw first time this picture in the New York Museum, Jewish New York Museum, they looked at me 20 years ago and they said, "Are you sure she's Jewish?" So I called the picture Miss Cohen. Also, I want you to notice that there is like some Tunisian flags here, even if there is no relationship between Tunisia and Israel, but I think it's another subject. After the bomb attack, the same year, it was like maybe 4 weeks after, the celebration still occur, and you have all these flags, and they celebrate it with the help of the state and the protection of the state. Catching picture is always a challenge, and I choose this picture because there is only one flame and 2 candles. So it's really this idea always of the transmission in the Jewish culture. And for me, it represents with this kid on the background. They are always in this movement, vibrant of transmission. It was my old compass, Jacob Shiri. It was the man we saw at the beginning, and he did, as I told you, probably 75 pilgrim as the chief counter. And when he saw the picture of my parents married by this big rabbi, which is one of the most famous and respected in the island, every morning he went to knock on my door to wake me up to go to the shul. So I have a lot of footage with him playing old music and telling me stories that I unfortunately don't translate yet. And I have a lot of stories that he said that I don't really get what he said, but he really enjoyed to share this with me. Thank you very much. So to close and to finish this, sorry, I would like to share with you some documents, and it's not a document actually. I would like you to get the feeling to be in the middle of the Ghriba on a Friday night before Shabbat. There are probably, I think it's the only people in the whole world who keep doing this as a tradition to announce the Shabbat to the people. And probably, but I'm not a searcher, I'm not an historian, maybe there is a link with the Muslim world and why they call him to prayer. You know, the way they call to prayer, I think the origin can be what you're going to see now. It's going to be 3 minutes, and I'm done. Thank you.